All right. So what's going on, everybody? We are currently live. I am here with Jason from Jaguars United. What's going on, man?
What's up, dude? Just glad to be here. How's everything going with you?
Dude, everything's good, man. Very eventful. I gotta say, man, you were so consistent for a while, man. You were coming out with all these live streams, like after all these losses, and then once the Jaguar season gets great, where have you been at, man?
Well, I've been working a lot. So it's been kind of crazy. I've been trying to get stuff done. I've been trying to get um videos out there, but when it turns into having to work, it's kind of tough. But you're right, there is a lot of news, and I've just been like so antsy to talk about it, and I just haven't had time. And then you hit me up, and I was like, dude, let's do it.
Dude, here we are, man. I always know if I hit you up, you're always going to be down. So I definitely want to get your opinions on a lot of stuff, man. But good shout outs to the live chat. David Bride's in here. He says, congrats on getting 10K subscribers. UCF Jag. Thank you, man. Washington State Jags fan says, what's up? Noah says, hey, 10K, let's go. Hell yeah, man. Yeah, this is my first actual like video or live stream with being at 10,000 subscribers. So thanks everybody for kind of all the shouts out and stuff. I appreciate it, but this is definitely about you guys, man. This is about kind of covering the different news and everything going on with the Jaguars. So I guess I do want to start off and ask you, man, like what are your what's your kind of opinions about the whole, I guess, head coaching situation? Like where's your mindset at with it? Are you kind of on the Urban Meyer train, or where are you at with it all?
Yeah, I am, dude. I'm pumped. I think Urban Meyer would be a home run hire. I know he's like hasn't. I understand all the criticism of him for sure. Like it makes sense, but there's not going to be any coach available that doesn't have some sort of criticism. I mean, they wouldn't be available if they didn't. So whether it's a recycled guy or a young guy who's never done it before, or a guy like Urban Meyer, I mean, there's going to be hesitations with any of them. And I think Urban, more than I know everyone says like he wins everywhere, which is important, but more than that, like he establishes a culture everywhere. Like that's what's bigger to me. Like everywhere he goes, it's like the Urban way. And that's what like legit coaches do, And I have no problem with bringing Urban in. He's actually who I would prefer. I think we're in a good position to get some good coaches if it doesn't work out. And it's a very strange process. But I have to keep reminding myself, like, what's the rush? Like, what's the urgency? If you're a guy like Urban and Shad Khan, I mean, there's other guys out there. I mean, people are saying the clock's ticking on other coaches, but it's fine. I mean, I'm all about Urban. I think that would be the best situation for the Jags.
Dude, it's funny today because everyone's like freaking out about the Urban thing. Like, why hasn't he said anything yet? And it's like we feel like we're rushed. But I'm like, dude, right now there's 7 head coaching vacancies, and none of them have been, filled up yet. Like that's over 20% of the league without head coaches right now. So like, is there really that much of a hurry? But I don't know. Like I've actually been on the Urban Meyer train the whole time. I mean, I've been wanting Urban Meyer just because a lot of people say it's risky. When you get Urban Meyer, it's risky. But like, who isn't risky? Like, if you want to go safe, if you want to go absolutely safe, then you get Jim Caldwell and Marvin Lewis. You know what I mean? Those are 2 guys that have proven they can win. They haven't had the playoff success. But, I mean, Bieniemy is a huge risk. Obviously, he's not even, like, calling plays over there. You wonder how much of it is the whole Andy Reid thing. How much is Andy Reid versus how much is actually actually Bieniemy. And then, obviously, there's also, you look at even Saleh. Saleh is really exciting, but he comes with some risk too. So I don't know. I think everything is just risky, but when you kind of weigh out all the different options, it's like Urban just seems like the best right now, just because he's I don't know. He's just he knows how to win, and he not only knows how to win, but he knows how to build programs. So that's definitely a big thing for me.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of. I mean, I saw that Robert Saleh was interviewed, and I think he'd be a great coach. It's funny with Saleh or Saleh, whatever, however you say it. But what's good with him is like everyone points to like his energy on the sidelines. So basically, the fact that he gets excited on the sidelines is why everyone likes him as a head coach. And he probably is qualified, but I mean, you really want to bring in a defensive coordinator when you're bringing in Trevor Lawrence. Like You want to bring in a guy who's never had any history of running or creating an offense, and you feel more comfortable with that than a guy like Urban Meyer, like Doug Peterson. I mean, I would at least listen to that argument because, I mean, I think he'd probably be the next best option after Urban Meyer.
Yeah.
I mean, Bieniemy, I'm with you, man. I feel like Andy Reid's running that offense, and sure, Bieniemy's picked up some things, and maybe that's the route you end up going. But I mean, I want a guy who can coach. I don't want a guy who's like never had any experience being the head coach, and you don't do that when you're getting Trevor Lawrence. Like this isn't the time to go young and inexperienced, in my opinion. Like this isn't the time, and I think Shad Khan knows that, and I think that's why you're seeing Urban Meyer, Doug Peterson. I mean, I see who they Raheem Morris. I saw they interviewed, which I'd actually be weirdly okay with that. Like again,
I would not, dude.
I know I wouldn't be happy.
I
wouldn't be okay. I wouldn't be happy, but I would rather have a guy like that than one of these young up and coming guys. I don't know. It's like now you're gambling on two people, and when you could just be. We know Trevor Lawrence is the real deal, and we know Trevor Lawrence could probably make any coach look good that's like halfway capable. So I don't want to roll too many dice at the start of this year.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, I do want to announce, guys. I for the people who are members, I dropped some new emojis. I dropped some Duval emojis. So definitely, I want to see you guys' Duval emojis, man. Drop them down below. I've got like over 30 members, so I definitely want to see what those look like on the screen. Shout out to Hunter Miller for the $5 donations. If you two had a baby, it would be beautiful.
Yeah, he really would.
He let that same exact comment when I was with Jet Central. So I don't know.
What?
He's just
he said it about more than one person.
Yeah, he said that with my last guest too. So I don't know, man.
For a second, I felt good for a second, man. I was like, oh, nice. He's giving me some props, and no, he just goes throwing that around.
Have you ever watched Seinfeld before?
Oh, of course.
Dude, it's like the thing where the doctor says to Elaine, "Oh, the baby's breathtaking," or no, she called Elaine breathtaking, and then she called the ugly baby breathtaking. Yeah. She's like, "It's like, what are you talking about? Like, is this everything?" That's how I feel like it is right now, man. Unfortunately,
he's using breathtaking too liberally.
Hell yeah, dude. But we got some Duval emojis nice. Dropping down below. Looks awesome. I can't show it on. If I do it on this screen, this is what it looks like. So it doesn't really come up on the StreamYard, but I do see it down in the chat, which is pretty awesome. But guys, we will get to Lot J soon. I do kind of want to talk about. I don't know as much about Lot J, so I want to get into that a little bit later. But right now, I do kind of want to talk about the different, just kind of the coaching stuff that's going on. But thanks, guys, for being here. 127 people in here. We're now at the prime time season when it comes to Jaguars football. It's the offseason. It's the first month of the offseason. We're shaking up the front office and everything. But one thing that I think that I do like, what do you think about Shad Khan kind of talking to the media and basically saying that he's kind of taking more of a role when it comes to actual final say of the actual roster? Is that something I read it more as something like, oh, like I'm going to be more involved now. I'm not just going to let them write a blank check and just trust that it's going to happen. I think it's going to be more of a dual control process with Shad Khan. So what do you kind of think about the Shad Khan statements when it comes to stuff like that?
Yeah, honestly, in my opinion, this was a situation where Shad Khan has been watching this team as the owner for what's it been, eight years now. He probably got to the point where he was like, he's been watching every game for 8 years. He was probably like, screw it. I can evaluate talent as good as any of these guys I'm paying all this money to. And he probably was like, if it's my money, I'm going to just at least get involved more and try to preserve some of my money. And I feel like that's what I would do. I feel like if I was Shad Khan and I watched the Jags for 8 years and I was like, I could have told you this guy was good. I could have told you this guy was bad. I could have told you to pay this guy and not pay this guy. He's probably like, I can get more involved in this to kind of preserve my own money. So I think that's what he's doing. And I don't think it's a bad idea. I kind of like that, actually. I like when owners get involved a little bit more because then they have more skin in the game and kind of, gets them closer to the team. And I think owners that do that typically have more money and they're more likely to take risks in free agency and things like that because they realize that if they have final say, they're going to take a little more pride in the roster, so they might spend a little more money.
Yeah, and big shout out to Austin Hughes for the $20 donation, man.
Damn,
Really
$20?
appreciate that.
Hey,
I know,
honestly,
man. That's
it is
super
congrats
generous,
on
man.
the 10K subscribers, bro. I got to give you congratulations on that. I mean, you kill it, dude. And I mean, 10K. I mean, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I never thought I would get to this point, but I mean, here I am. So thank you so much, Austin, for the $20 donation, man. Really appreciate it. Hunter Miller says that the three of you guys had a baby, it will be that's better. That's better. I would like to. It'd be interesting to see what that baby would look like, but I don't know. It's I appreciate the. I'm flattered. I'm flattered to say the least. But yeah, like I do want to talk to you, man. I don't think we've talked since actually the Rams beat the Jets and gave us Trevor Lawrence. So let's hear about that, man. I know I saw a little bit on your channel. You started going a little bit crazy and started going copyright strike crazy. I was like, the tank is done, but now he's trying to like tank his channel. It's like is he trying to act like if he gets all these copyright strikes, we're going to definitely get him. What?
Honestly, if I'm being completely honest, I was celebrating a lot because I'm just that excited about Trevor Lawrence, and I think some of that
water going.
Yeah, I think some of that celebration spilled over into the live streams, which probably isn't a great idea, but shit, I don't care. I was excited, man. Trevor Lawrence. Legit. This is what I said on my show a bunch. I think he's the best prospect to ever come out of college. And I'm not even saying that like I know it sounds like a homer. I know it does, but I've been evaluating talent and watching football for a long time. And I kind of had this same feeling about Andrew Luck. And I kind of like he's gonna be good. I mean, he's gonna be generational type quarterback. So gotta keep him healthy, man. We have got to keep him healthy. Like, I don't care. Throw the bag at the offensive line. We have got to keep him healthy. Got to keep him safe in the pocket. Add a few more weapons. Screw the defense. I don't care. Keep drafting defense later in the rounds. Spend all your money on offense. And let's get it.
Yeah, I agree with you. And like I think the same thing. 1 second, man. Austin Hughes threw another $10 donation here. He says, Of course, bro. Been watching your vids from the beginning. I promise I would support 100% of your vids. You are the highlight of the week. Damn, bro. That's that means a lot, man. Honestly, I really appreciate that I can, as an Orlando native, not anywhere close to Jacksonville, that I come on here and somehow, of all the guys out there, be your primary source of Jaguars news and entertainment, man. I appreciate it more than you can ever know. So thank you so much, Austin. That's really awesome of you. But yeah, like I'm like all in on Trevor Lawrence. I am like so excited, especially like just because right now I think it'd be such a headache if we were having to go, okay, Justin Fields, Zach Wilson, do we go Trey? You know what I mean? That like, and very well when it comes to, those guys, Trey Lance, Mac Jones, there's at least one of those guys going to be a great franchise quarterback. The numbers just show that. But man, like, I'm just so glad we're in a position where we can just Sharpie in Trevor Lawrence at 1. It's funny, like, because there's some like extreme pessimists out there that are sitting here like, oh, he's going to be a bust. Like, I think Trevor Lawrence is going to be a bust. He's going to be a Blaine Gabbert 2.0. It's like, dude, do you just like how can you like to say that? Like, he is just so damn good. I don't see how people can't just be so hype about it. They're talking about maybe Justin Fields is better. Oh, let's go trade for Deshaun Watson. We have been given the only time we've ever had number 1 pick has been in the year where freaking Trevor Lawrence comes out. And you're gonna try to find a way to mess it up. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, I mean, I was watching something. I can't remember who it was. I think I was watching like a highlight with my mom. I was watching my parents' house, and we were watching some football game or whatever. And there was a clip of Justin Fields came up, and I was like, "Hey, Mom, that's the guy the Jags like thought they were getting." And I was like, like a chuckle. Like, I'm so glad that we don't have to justify Justin Fields anymore. Like, I was all about it. I was all about justifying he was going to be good. I was bought in. But man, how nice is it to just be like, okay, we got an actual player. And yeah, How you can't? There's no negatives to his game, like none. Like
Yeah.
he's a perfect
Like
prospect.
he doesn't step into like the only thing I can see is that he maybe doesn't step into throws sometimes, but it's like, dude, he'll be on his back foot and throw a freaking dart. He's nuts.
Exactly. And if you watch like legit NFL quarterbacks now and you watch tape of them in college, that's the type of thing that they did. Like they relied on their arm when they should have relied on mechanics. They went for risks. Like those were things that like elite quarterbacks did when they were in college anyways, because they were in college and they get to the pros, they clean it up. I mean, his footwork, like people like don't even realize, people that don't really watch football a lot or don't understand football don't even realize his footwork is like the best footwork I've ever seen in a quarterback. The dude feels pressure, can move any direction in the pocket, hangs in the pocket, makes great throws under pressure. Dude, there's nothing negative you can say about him. Maybe he opted to run a little too much in that playoff game. He probably should have. I mean, I don't know. His receivers probably weren't open. But I don't know, man. You can't say anything bad about him.
And a big shout out to David Bryan. He says, "Hey, Shad, if you're watching, give UCF Jag a sponsorship. Let's go." Thanks so much, David, for the $5 donation, man. Yeah, I don't think I heard Shad Khan wasn't at the Lot J meeting today, so maybe he is watching. Maybe this is his excuse. And he got the notification. UCF Jaguar and Jason going live tonight. I got to be in the yacht to watch this one. I'm sure that's the reasoning behind it, but. It's probably it. But yeah, dude, like I am just so pumped for Trevor Lawrence, especially like, and it's funny because Jaguars locked up Trevor Lawrence the day after like Justin Fields played against Northwestern. And it was like, that's Saturday when it was like Ohio State Northwestern. We were all like, oh my God, dude, this is not, this might not, I'm not going to overreact, but in a limited sample, I mean, every game really matters in the season. And man, he did not look good at all. And then like you just look at him, and I'm sure he might be a great player. You can't guarantee that, but he's got a lot of flaws in his game to definitely work out. A bunch of people were freaking out about his game against Clemson, but he was pretty much just throwing flies, like deep routes, like deep flies the whole game, and it was like doing pretty good. But he's got a lot to work on. But look at us, man. We got freaking Trevor Lawrence.
Well, yeah, he is he's a good passer, but he's got a little bit of inconsistency in him, and that kind of comes with being young, and kind of comes with being, like I said, college quarterback not quite being there. I think Justin Fields will be good. I think he'll be a good quarterback. And this is a good year of quarterbacks. This is a good draft, which is great. I love that the Jags have so many picks in a good draft. And there's a lot of good players at a lot of different positions. I mean, you're looking at teams justifying taking a running back in the top 15. They're looking at taking a receiver maybe in the top 3. They're looking at taking DBs in the top 5. I mean, there's classes loaded with talent. So Jags are just lucky to have Trevor Lawrence, which is, where it's at. But a lot of these teams that are picking high are in good positions. The Cowboys are going to get a really good player to add to that team, and, there's a lot of teams that are not far away, and they're adding some good players.
Yeah. And shout out to Matt J for the $10 donation, man. He says, Lawrence, Chark, Robinson, Chenault, and maybe Urban. Feeling good, bro. Yeah, thanks so much for your donation, man. You guys are extremely generous tonight. And yeah, I mean, and we're going to get more than that, man. Like I expect to get another receiver probably in the first 2 rounds. I mean, we have 4 picks in the top 2 rounds. So I would definitely expect the Jaguars to kind of go there. But we will take a step off of this real quick, because a lot of people, obviously the big hot news right now is about Lot J. Yeah. I didn't even know about the Lot J thing until people started tweeting about it. But I guess the Lot J thing got rejected, which obviously is not ideal at all.
By one vote.
By one vote. Lost by, I think you needed 68%, and they got like 64% or something. If the numbers are right. But obviously the Jaguars' viability in Jacksonville is big. This is big thing, and I guess they're gonna I don't know enough about it really to comment too much about it, except I know that this wasn't the greatest thing. But what are your kind of thoughts on the whole Lot J rejection?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely got to jump deeper into it. because I mean I've been following it pretty closely. But as far as what happened tonight, I'm not 100% sure. I guess it got voted down. For what I understand, it was a $400 million renovation deal at Lot J.
Yeah.
And I think I can't remember how many votes. It was either 13. They needed 14. They got 13 or something like that. And basically, the city of Jacksonville is not going to pay $400 million for Lot J renovations, which I think is a horrible decision. And we talked at length about that on our show because even if worst case scenario, the Jags moved out of Jacksonville, now you have at least a stadium to attract another team down the road. Like without anything, I mean, some people are saying that like you can use that $400 million to renovate the stadium. I mean, I would listen to that argument, but I mean, if the plan's on the table and people are willing to meet you a little bit, and this is probably just a power play to try to get Shad Khan to pay more for it, which is probably how the councilmen are looking at it for Jacksonville. But that's risky business, man, when you're dealing with a league that only has 32 franchises and a bunch of those are in the same city. So you're really looking at less than that cities that have NFL teams, and the amount of economy that pushes in Jacksonville. And I mean, obviously being able to go to the game and supporting a close team, it'd be tragic if they left. So, man, I would hate to be a St. Louis sitting here thinking like, man, we should have done more. But you know, I don't have a vote, so
and it's it really sucks to think about. This is honestly the part of like the whole football thing that I hate. I mean, I'm an Orlando resident. I'm not a Jacksonville resident, so I don't dig too much into the Jacksonville politics and Duval County politics. But obviously for the Jaguars' viability in Jacksonville, this was pretty big. But at the same time, you know, where are the Jaguars going to go if they were to move? I mean, there's two teams in LA now. I don't think they put another team in Vegas. Obviously, I don't know. Like at this point, a bunch of the more attractive markets have been like bought up. But at the same time, man, like Trevor Lawrence will probably bring some wins to Jackson. Once you bring wins to Jackson, we all know we can pack the stadium. You know what I mean? And then obviously once there are actually people in the stadium, that's really going to spark really the demand to come to the stadium and come to the city. So I don't know. Like I don't know. I wish I knew more. I really do, but I think we'll be all right.
One of the like local news stations here tweeted that one of the councilmen said that if the Jags would have given an inch on the $65 million what they call bread box loan, which I have no idea what that means, they said it probably passes. So from this guy's point of view, he said if Khan would have like done anything to kind of meet him in the middle, that it probably would have passed. But I heard from a lot of people that he was just like, no, you guys need to build it for me if you want me to keep the Jags in Jacksonville. Yeah. And for people that are mad at him, like this is who Shad Khan is. He's a shrewd ass businessman. He got fired from a bumper company, started his own company, got sued, countersued, and then took their company. That's the type of guy that Shad Khan is. Like defended himself in court, like studied law and defended himself in court. Like Shad Khan is a beast when it comes to shrewd diplomatic and economic relations. So the fact that he came out and was like, hey, you guys pay for everything doesn't surprise me. I think the city is like, you got to meet us a little bit if you are going to do it. And I get that from both sides. But for me, man, like, I don't know what I would do if the Jags moved, man. I would be pretty depressed. You probably wouldn't hear from me for a couple weeks at least.
Oh man. Yeah. I'd be depressed. I mean, it's, I don't know. And a lot of people really complain about the 2 games in London thing. But honestly, if we keep Jags in Jacksonville, I don't even care. You can move 2 games to London. I know it's probably different for me because I don't go to every game. So obviously the only people I think that should be mad about the 8 game or the 2 games in London are the people that literally go to all 8 home games. But I don't know. I just want to keep this damn team in Jacksonville because, man, this is a huge, huge part of us both, man. This is my number one passion. And quick shout out to Legendarily, says congrats on 10K, bro. Thanks so much. I also took over our annual fantasy league, so I'm patiently awaiting my trophy from you. But thanks so much for your donation, man. I really appreciate it.
Nice.
I did good. I did good in fantasy football this year, man. I little side brag. I drafted Devontae Adams in second round of a couple leagues. Got like Josh Allen like the 11th round, and just rode them both to a couple championships. Man, it was great. But
yeah, I won one of my 3 leagues. So that was nice. It was my bigger money league. So that was
yeah.
What's it? Freaking David Montgomery went off.
I know, bro. He was in that league, that legendary's league. He was driving me nuts. I was trying to trade him. I actually in one of my leagues, I combined Montgomery with Justin Jefferson and Justin Herbert and got Kelsey. So that was a good haul. But in my other one, man, he came out of nowhere and I was like, holy crap. And he just led me to a championship. But yeah, I did good this year in fantasy, man. I won 2 out of 4 of my leagues. I made it to 3 championships too. I killed it.
Nice.
I got a little subtle brag, but yeah, that's some like Lot J stuff for you guys. We don't Shad Khan, he's a businessman. He's smarter and richer than all of us probably will ever be, and probably all of us combined if we're being real. So
if you keep getting these donations, bro, then maybe not, man. I don't know.
It's spread the wealth, man. I'm trying to take down Shad Khan.
hey, maybe that's how you approach it. Maybe that's how you do it.
Yeah. But quick shout out to everyone. We're 27 minutes in. 200 people in the chat right now, man. I'm here with Jason from Jaguars United. I put his link down below to his YouTube channel, also down below, and actually pinned in the chat. I have my Flick chat. This weekend because I reached 10,000 subscribers, I will be giving away 3 UCF Jaguar shirts as well as 2 Trevor Lawrence jerseys once April comes. So if you guys want to win a UCF Jaguar shirt, go ahead and join, and I'll be giving those away this weekend. And then in April, my promise was I was going to be giving away a Josh Allen jersey, but I was like, you know what? I got to switch it to Trevor Lawrence. And since I'm going to make the people wait, I'll give away 2. So,
nice.
So yeah, you guys can join the Flick chat. I got it pinned up in the top of the comment section. Also, it's down in the description down below. Gary says, seeking one of the shirts. It's cold up here in New York. One of the hoodies dropping. Gary's bought 2 UCF Jaguar shirts for me, man. He knows the comfortability of the shirts, man. They're great. But
hey, I was the first one to ever buy a UCF Jaguar shirt, so
that's true,
that's
dude.
my claim to fame.
Yeah, what's called, after I bought them, I immediately went over to Jason's place. We did a live stream together.
And I bought
it was he bought the first one before
they're even out. Limited edition.
I know.
My question is, have you attached your OnlyFans?
Not OnlyFans.
You haven't attached that? Okay.
I have member only videos, but they'll take me down if I get too risque.
You're not letting your followers really know who you are. Okay, that's nice.
Yeah, not really. Maybe at 100K. Maybe at 100K. then all bets are off. Big shout out to Austin. He says, I'm down to share the wealth. Duval. Thanks so much, Austin. And also, guys, drop your Duval emojis down below. I definitely want to see those, man. B News says, need those signed shirts and jerseys signed by UCF. Yeah, man. If you guys win one and you want me to sign it, just let me know. I have signed one UCF Jaguar shirt, I will say, but thank you, B New, for the $5 donation. Also, thank you, Austin, for the donation. Really appreciate that. But I guess where Eddie Clutch says only fan Jaguar. Yeah, that's me.
There it is.
That's me. I've already got the marketing, man. Now I'm tempted to start it up, bro. But yeah, man, we are entering, I guess we were kind of talking earlier about, kind of surround Trevor Lawrence with talent. Like with me, my main thing this offseason is I want to make sure, now that we have Trevor Lawrence, I want to make sure that when Trevor Lawrence steps on a field, his very first game, he has all the talent that he needs to be able to really succeed. And I want to make sure, because last year we went heavy defense in the draft. We got 2 in the first round. 3 of our first 4 picks were defensive players. So I definitely want to make sure that I am loading up on like offensive talent. You know what I mean? I want to be able to bring in the wide receiver. I want to get the tight end. I want to beef up that offensive line, man. That's my thoughts on it. I don't care. Look, if you want to leave this, if you don't want to drop any money on the safety position, I don't care. You got to kind of pick and choose when your roster is where it is right now. But what are kind of some of your thoughts on? And I guess combined with that, what are your thoughts on the offseason? What do you think about like bringing in Allen Robinson? And also shout out to Hunter. Thanks for a $2 donation. I got your OnlyFans. You the man, bro. But go ahead, Jason.
Yeah, I mean, Allen Robinson's obviously he's a top tier wide receiver. I mean, any team's gonna want him. So if he came here, obviously we would be pumped. It's ironic that he had such a terrible exit the first time. But hey, Tom Coughlin had a terrible exit and he came back, so I guess it could happen. But Allen Robinson would be great here. And I guess for me, I'm all about. I mean, I draft the offensive line. There's not a bunch of. There is some offensive line guys available. I mean, Trent Williams, again, another guy everybody wants. You could throw the bag at him, I guess, if you wanted to. But get your left tackle secure. There's a couple decent guards in the second round. But yeah, I mean, I'm drafting quarterback, I'm drafting receiver, and I'm drafting guard, tackle, maybe another running back / receiver weapon player, another guard or tackle. And I'm just doing that, like you said. I don't know. I mean, especially if you get a guy that's an offensive minded, he's going to definitely want to take offensive players this year. I mean, you got to protect Lawrence, man. The last thing I want is something to happen to Lawrence like Joe Burrow, or like he had a horrible injury. He just got beat up. I mean, you see that happen to quarterbacks all the time. I mean, Blaine Gabbert, I mean, he came here and had no chance at being successful because the offensive line was putrid that was in front of him. So protect him. Get Lawrence, get him one more playmaker, and this offense is going to, I think, catapult into top half of the league like instantly.
Yeah, and I'll touch on that. It's Reese with a $5 donation. Thanks so much, man. He says, I want to win. Tired of draft hopes nearly every year. Yeah, I'm the same way, but this year is just so much different with the Trevor Lawrence thing. I know me and It's Reese has very differing opinions about a couple things. He really wants to trade #1 pick for Deshaun Watson. I can understand the argument just because Deshaun Watson is proven and whatnot, but man, you are trained for a big contract. You're trained for a guy with 2 torn ACLs already. And I mean, he's got a little bit of drama. Look at him right now. I just don't see Trevor Lawrence ever getting in the situation where he's demanding to be traded. I just don't think that's his personality. But and it looked like you were shaking your head too. But yeah, I guess I do.
No. Yeah, sorry, Reese. Love you, Reese. Hell no.
Yeah, we love you, it's Reese, but this is the #1 pick, Baker Mayfield, or it's not like we have the chance to get Baker Mayfield and we're trading to win #1 pick. This is Trevor freaking Lawrence, man. Like, we got a great opportunity. Let's go ahead and take it. And also, it's Reese doesn't want Urban Meyer either. We can agree to disagree on some of these things, but definitely love it's Reese though, man. He's a awesome subscriber for both of us, but. Yeah, I mean, I do want to touch on the Allen Robinson thing. I don't know if I want to bring in Allen Robinson just because, dude, there's so many freaking free agents, wide receivers going to be available. There's like Chris Godwin, Corey Davis, like Marvin Jones, I think Kenny Golladay, Corey Davis. I think I said Corey Davis, but there's a lot of guys out there. And I don't think Allen Robinson is the type of mold of receiver that we need to try to get. Like, I almost think that Corey Davis might be better just because I really want the guy that's in the Stephon Diggs or Justin Jefferson mold, a guy that is just can take the top off of defense. He's a, speedy dude, great route runner. I mean, we already have kind of, obviously it's hard to compare the two, but we have someone similar to Allen Robinson with DJ Chark. Obviously Allen Robinson's probably better than DJ Chark, but I mean, they both had similar seasons in 2019 and 2015. A-Rob, 2 very similar guys, but I guess I don't know. What are your thoughts on who we need to go after with the receiver?
Yeah, I mean, I think you make some good points. I get a little hesitant when we talk about those take the top off type receivers because they seem to fizzle out a lot, and they pop off and they're good, but I mean, Allen Robinson's been good for a while. Like in Jacksonville, he was really good. And I think if you have an opportunity to get a guy like Allen Robinson, who in my opinion is a top 10 receiver in the league, I think you have to go get him. Like, you pair him with DJ Chark, who I think is pretty good, and Laviska Shenault, I'm even more excited about him. But I mean, those three receivers are, I mean, I would put those three up against any other three in the league if you put Allen Robinson on this team. Now, obviously, you'd have to account for injuries and you have to bring in some depth. And then that's where you probably get into the little differentials. But Allen Robinson is, I think, to me, as good as it gets coming out. A guy like Galladay, I mean, I haven't seen enough of him. I mean,
he's very injured. Yeah,
and he's injured, and yeah, I mean, and I even like Diggs, but Diggs wasn't really that type of player at Maryland, and then he kind of turned into that player in the NFL. And I like Diggs, but this has been his best year of his career this year. So sometimes you just gotta. Sometimes those guys kind of fizzle out, and I want a guy that's proven. I would love Allen Robinson. That'd be a great guy. Maybe bring in one of these consistent dudes that can play in the slot that you tend to see on every team. That can just run a good whip route. Yeah, exactly. They can run a good whip route. You can count on them to do what they got to do. They'll catch the slant and those types of things. And I don't think the receiver room's that far off, especially because Laviska Shenault, I think, took a huge step this year and really, really proved that he should have been drafted higher, in my opinion.
And a big shout out to Devin. Loaded question here. How many seasons do you think it will take for the Jaguars to make the Super Bowl? I mean, honestly, for me, 2 years. It doesn't take all that long it takes really probably 3 years to really build a roster. We went through year 1 of the rebuild already. Next year is year 2. Obviously, we had some young pieces do pretty well. I mean, we had CJ Henderson, Devon Hamilton, Laviska Shenault. I love Laviska Shenault. I think he's going to be a freaking stud. Even like James I like some of the guys even like, I even like Daniel Thomas. I thought he was kind of fun to watch, but I don't know, 2 seasons, honestly, because the big factor here is we're going to get Trevor freaking Lawrence. We don't know who the head coach is going to be, but dude, we got 2 first-round picks coming up. We got all this draft capital, so much money, dude. Like literally, that's how great the impact of bringing a franchise quarterback in here is. And with me, a bunch of people are calling me crazy, but what do you think? How many seasons do you like? I'm just saying it would take 2 seasons, honestly, if everything goes right.
Yeah, I mean, I think if they do some of the things that we talked about, invest in the offense and protect Trevor Lawrence, 2 years is not unrealistic, especially the defense is young. So in 2 years, this defense will be everyone playing in their prime. CJ Henderson, Josh Allen, K'Lavon Chaisson even came on at the end of the year. Miles Jack is an absolute beast. Some people are talking about drafting a corner. I think you might need to get another corner in there. But, yeah, I mean, this team is not far, and they're very young. I mean, the youngest team in the NFL last year. We had the most cap room. We can instantly upgrade our team with free agents. 2 years. 2 years sounds about right to me. I mean, doesn't take that long to build like it used to.
Dude, the 49ers went from having a top 5 pick to a Super Bowl 2 years later.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think it might have been 3. I don't know, but it's NFL, it doesn't take as long as you would think to really turn a franchise around and just get the right pieces in here, have awesome coaching.
It's all about the quarterback.
It's not unrealistic, man. And the quarterback, bro. We got Trevor Lawrence coming in here.
You look at all these teams in the playoffs and in the Super Bowl every year, they all have amazing quarterbacks. And even a guy like Tannehill who can make deep runs, he's good, and you package him with a great running back, that can work too, right? But you have to have at least a quarterback that's as good as Ryan Tannehill. I mean, I know that's not incredibly high, but he's about as low as it gets. All these other quarterbacks are just amazing, and Trevor Lawrence instantly puts you in that tier with those guys. And I think that's why everyone's so excited. That's why my live streams we got shut down by YouTube because I was that excited that I just totally didn't care. What's funny is one of my videos got copy striked because at the end of the live show, I played that song Celebrate.
Oh yeah, I was watching that stream.
I was playing that music video, and they just turned it off. I was like, that's worth it. That's worth it to me. If you're gonna go out, that's how you're gonna go out, in my opinion.
Dude, it was great. It was hilarious to me. But But yeah, we got David Bryan says, get rid of Conley. He's been dropping too many catches. I know you're a big Conley guy. What do you think about
Oh
that
my
comment?
God. If I ever see this guy again, he's horrible. I
Oh, he's
can never
horrible.
he's bad. He's bad. I saw him in Jack's Beach. He was chilling. Seems like a really cool guy. Terrible wide receiver.
Yeah, he seems like a pretty down to earth person, but man, like his play just drives me absolutely nuts, man. He just has
His
stones
play,
for hands.
his play, his inability to catch the football. That play,
Yeah, and it always comes at crucial moments. It's like a third down.
Oh.
Like I remember the most crucial one. It literally, I guess, really got us off the rails was against Miami in Week 3, and he dropped like a third down catch, and it was like we just got whooped. And from that game on, I was officially on Team Tank.
Yeah. I think that's where everyone was. Everyone was like, okay, we see where this is going. And for as much crap as Caldwell and Marone and Wash, and as much crap as all those guys get Shad Khan over the last year, they put us in a position to perhaps have Urban Meyer, Trevor Lawrence, another great first-round pick, and we're maybe 2 years away from a Super Bowl run. Talk all the shit you want about those people, but they were the ones that made that happen. So I'm with y'all, but then again, we're sitting pretty right now.
But you remember when I asked you the question of like, why would Dave Caldwell purposely lose when he wasn't going to get his job? But then all of a sudden, it made a lot of sense to me when Shad Khan met the media and said, I had final say on the roster. Like Dave Caldwell was like, oh, we could sign Clowney to all this money. No. We could sign this guy. No. It really didn't let him sign anybody. Oh my gosh. Like I was like, it all finally makes sense to me.
Yeah. He snuck one past him with James Robinson. He was like, this guy, James Robinson, he's undrafted out of Illinois State. Shad Khan's like, yeah, you could take him. He's like, yes, stole one.
Dude, but it's just like so funny. Like, this season it was the worst seasons record wise of any Jaguar season ever. The worst record we've ever had. But
it wasn't it was by one game.
But was 1-15? Did it feel that much different than 6-10?
No, that's a good point.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
this last season didn't feel any different. We were the same team where we had some young talent. We had just bad quarterback play, and then we just, you know what I mean? It didn't feel any different to me.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, and honestly, I had more hope because I knew what we were trying to do. And at least, again, when they continued to show those stats of the average age of the team and the Jags was like 23, you were like, oh, I see what we're doing here. And you don't feel bad losing. And when they talk about how especially after the last 2-3 weeks of the season, when we found out we were getting Trevor Lawrence, that was actually kind of like some party weeks. We were partying pretty hard the last 3 weeks of the season because we got Trevor Lawrence. So in my opinion, it's way more fun than any of the 6 and 10 years where we just were beating the bad teams and losing to the good teams.
Yeah. And shout out to Noah for the $2 donation. What's our record next year? Also, when is Wash gone? Our record, I'll go with the flat 8-8. I'll go with that. I think we still got a lot of improvement to go. I think Trevor Lawrence do some good things. Obviously, a lot of it depends on the coach, man, because if we get Urban Meyer, I think we're better a lot quicker. But if we get, I don't know, I don't think our record is as good if we bring in I don't know, what's another coaching. Honestly, one good thing about this coaching search is there's a lot of good candidates out there. I actually really like a lot of them. But I guess, and also Wash is going to be gone as soon as the head coach interviews him. He's going to give him his nice little exit interview, ask why he wants to stay on, and then he's out of here. That's what's going to happen. But what are your thoughts on this comment?
Yeah, honestly, I'm going to go 9-7. I'm hopeful. I think that Urban Meyer is going to be the coach, and I think him and Trevor Lawrence, and I think they're going to bring in a bunch of free agents this year and combine them with the talent they have. And I think this team is the benefit of maybe an easier schedule because of a last place finish. And there's no reason why I don't think this team could win 9 games next year. I'm usually more optimistic than most people. I understand that, but I could see it happening, man. I have that much faith in Urban and Trevor Lawrence. And look, your typical rookie, it takes him a little bit of time to adjust, but I think Trevor Lawrence is better than your typical rookie. And I think Urban Meyer is a better coach and culture builder than your typical coach. So combine that, everyone's looking at like the past, and, 8-8, 7-9 would seem like a record that the past would reflect. But I think this team has a chance to be, exceptional with the stars aligning the way that they have with the cap. Because with the salary cap going down next year, there's going to be a lot more free agents available than usual.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're looking at the stars aligning for Jacksonville. There's no reason in my mind that I think the Jags couldn't go 9-7 next year.
Yeah, and I just feel like this offseason, just get some of the offensive things right. Like, we got to get another great wide receiver in here, bring a tight end in here, fix the left tackle spot, because I don't really want Cam Robinson going forward. I think the rest of the O-line, I think it's decent. I think a lot of people give it more crap than it really, really deserved. But I mean, if we can go out here, have a great offense, then maybe our defense lags behind a little bit. I mean, it's an offensive league. Put up points, outscore the opponents. And I mean, you saw the Tennessee Titans this year. They won the AFC South at 10-6, I think it was. And I mean, they had a horrible defense. And I think our offense could be better than theirs next year. I mean, I'm gonna like our quarterback better. Obviously, they have Derrick Henry, but I don't know. I just maybe I'm too optimistic on it, but that's kind of my thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, you had Allen Robinson and you had, Chenault in his second year. I mean, they do probably have the advantage in the offensive line. But again, that's the position group that I think we should definitely specifically look at. So if we do, we're going to have to keep Trevor Lawrence upright. I don't think that they're going to have any problem doing that. They're going to see the importance of that. So looking forward to that. I mean, I'm optimistic. I always am, but I really do feel good about this.
Yeah, and it's recess. Who do you guys want for GM? At this point, I have no idea, dude. Like, it's going to come with the coach. Like, the coach, I think it shows that he's probably going to be the first hire, and then it's going to be whoever the coach wants. It's going to be someone that works with him. I mean, what are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I mean, I saw that the Jags interviewed someone. Who was it? Someone random. Like, what? And like
someone random that was linked to Urban Meyer, apparently.
Yeah, no, and that's exactly. And I was like, when I first saw it, this makes no sense. Like, why wouldn't they want someone that has a little bit more of like a resume or anything going on? And then I was like, oh, wait a second, they're gonna give Urban Meyer like basically GM duties. So of course they're gonna go after some lame duck GM. I can't remember who it was. Fontenot. Yeah. They interviewed Fontenot, and it's like he's like an assistant for the Saints. And it's like, you're not going to bring in a guy like that to like the most pivotal season for your franchise. You're not going to bring in a guy like that. So it doesn't matter, in my opinion.
But I think this might be something similar, because if you remember in 2017, like Doug Marrone got hired as head coach, and everyone was like, ugh, I don't know about this. And literally 5 minutes later at the most, Tom Coughlin got, announced as kind of the vice president of football operations. It might be a very similar thing this year when it comes to, like, they might be trying to align the head coach GM roles, because apparently both those guys are going to be equally reporting to Shad Khan. There might be a chance where we hear, boom, Urban Meyer is, the head coach. And then after that, boom, we immediately hear that Shad Khan, or that the GM has been hired, and then boom, like Twitter going to explode. I wonder if that's why we're kind of waiting on all the Urban Meyer thing, because a lot of people aren't hot, like don't think Urban Meyer is going to come here because no news has been announced. But I mean, I'm honestly at the point where I'm like, look, the longer we wait, I think it's more likely, because I think if Urban Meyer said no, it would have came out. And I think at this point, like, I don't think he's sitting here debating really, because he's had multiple meetings. He's been talking about it for months. They had a very formal interview on the yacht. So, I mean, I have a strong feeling that he will be the head coach. And I could very well see, these two dominoes dropping at once.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're 100% right. I mean, This is a decision that's probably been waiting in the wings for the last couple of months. And Shad Khan's probably had this planned for a while. If you just look at the timeline of how some of this stuff happened, I mean, the Jaguars immediately interviewed right off the rip 3 minority coaches to satisfy the Rooney Rule. I mean, it happened immediately, and you're just like, okay. And then it's like, here's our formal interview with Urban Meyer. We're gonna leak it to everyone. Like, it's setting up such like we're gonna try to make it look like we didn't tamper when everyone knows there was clearly tampering involved, especially if you get Urban Meyer, who's probably been thinking about it for a number of years. So they're just doing their due diligence. They're trying to satisfy the anti-tampering laws, and I think you're spot on. They're going to announce the GM with Urban Meyer. They're obviously interviewing lame duck GMs and assistants that are just kind of getting their shot. So look good. I'm pumped. Let's do it. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Bring him in. That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, it stinks. I was working from home today, and I was like, man, I hope the news drops today so I can make a video at home. Might be doing a car video tomorrow, unfortunately, but
all right.
You know,
they're always good either way. Yeah.
Shout out to Hunter Miller for the $2 donation. It says Jags the most played franchise in Madden. Interesting. I don't really play video games, but if I did, I would be playing with the Jaguars.
Yeah, I play Madden, and I always play with the Jaguars. I have the inability to play with any other team.
Dude, I'm the same way, man. It's like it doesn't feel the same. I'll play with the 74th ranked Jaguars.
Yeah, exactly.
And make me play any team. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, it was the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna beat you with the Jaguars. And then I get beat by 40, and I'm like, yeah, the Jags really suck in this game. But that's typical, and every Jags fan in Madden knows that. So
yeah, I used to play Madden a lot more a couple years ago, but I don't know. I just kind of fell out of the video game thing. I was never really that big on video games. I'll be honest with you.
No, it's okay. It's probably a good thing not to be into a bunch of time.
Yeah, a lot of time, a lot of anger. Like a lot of damn it.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, it's Reese says Urban Meyer wants all the control. SMH Bill O'Brien 2.0. I don't know. That's definitely a big knock on him is that he might be controlling. But I think Urban Meyer accomplished a lot more than Bill O'Brien, though.
Bill O'Brien won the AFC South like what 3 out of 4 years.
Yeah,
so, I mean,
and then got clapped week 1, right?
Yeah,
Wild card round.
Yeah. Got him there, though.
Eddie says, would like to see a UCF Jaguar Madden rebuild. I'll be after all the coaching and GM stuff drops, I'm definitely going to be doing like a mock offseason where I talk about who I'd cut, who I'd sign, what direction I might go in the draft. And it's going to be a lot of fun, man. It's such an eventful, like, NFL calendar is so eventful. We had 6 playoff games for the first time this weekend, man. What are your kind of thoughts about the first weekend of the playoffs?
Oh, it was fun, man. It's always good to have football, especially in a year when we weren't sure if we were going to have football. So it's always fun to watch it. I'm really intrigued by the Bills. I don't really like rooting for them, but they're kind of a fun team to watch. And
I agree with you, man. I'm not a big Bills guy. I really don't like their fan base, but I don't know. I like the Josh Allen, the whole the real underdog thing. Everyone count him out, and he's over here proving people wrong just because he's such a hard worker.
Yeah, no, I do. I mean, that's great. I love it. Ravens, I'm intrigued by the Ravens for obvious reasons, and NFC teams, the Packers are looking good, and you got all the I can't remember who's playing, but you got some solid teams. Did the Saints win? The Saints are still in it, right?
Yeah, Saints beat the Bears. That game was
that was horrible. Bears should not.
A lot of teams did not feel like they belonged this weekend. It's going to be such a good. The Bears were bad. The Seahawks. I don't know what happened to the Seahawks. That was disappointing, obviously from a Jaguar standpoint. When we had the Rams first round pick, and they
they fired Brian Schottenheimer today. So it didn't take long for them to make amends for that.
This is gross, man. You have Russell. It's Russell Wilson versus fat-thumbed Jared Goff. It's dude, they had no business losing that game.
Well, Ramsey locked down DK Metcalf. So I mean, say what you want about him, but he locked him down. So
yeah, I mean he's a hell of a player. I mean Ramsey's a hell of a player. Sucks that he's out of Jacksonville, but honestly, I was never a fan of Jalen Ramsey the person. He always just drove me nuts, man. Like, I don't know. Like, it never felt like he was defending the Jaguars. It always felt like he was throwing shade. I don't know. There was something that I didn't like about Ramsey when he was here.
I liked Ramsey. I liked his physical style. I mean, I loved the way he played his position. But if he was here, we probably wouldn't have Trevor Lawrence. So I'm fine. I would trade Ramsey and Ngakoue and Campbell, and I would trade all those guys to have Trevor Lawrence. That's how like pumped I am about it.
Dude, honestly, someone's going to bring us down, man. Not trying to be an asshole, but y'all are not going to draft Trevor Lawrence and Urban Meyer's definitely not coming. Y'all can hang both those wishful thinking up. Damn it. Damn it. Oh,
you're right.
We're not getting Trevor Lawrence.
You know, I heard that kid from Alabama's pretty good. You know, maybe we'll get Mac Jones in here.
I mean, when you look at the Chiefs, man, Eric Fisher, like if we can get that, if we can get Penei Sewell out of Oregon, we can change that mold.
Hey, I have a great idea. How about this? We trade the first pick, the greatest quarterback who of all time, perhaps, for Deshaun Watson. How about we do that? Maybe that's what we do, you know, a great move like that.
Yeah, maybe that's he's suggesting. I don't know. Maybe we trade back 15 picks for a haul.
Yeah. I mean, Zach Wilson. Yeah, I mean, Zach Wilson could be available. You know, he may fall after combines. I can see that happening. You know,
I'm thinking more of the Kyle Trask, the Kyle Trask, Kyle Pitts route.
You get both of them. Trade back.
Put my Walmart Gator shirt on, and we'll go all in.
Yeah. Hey, you can get both of them if you really wanted to. Yeah. No, there's 0% chance that Trevor Lawrence is not in Jacksonville next year.
Yeah.
Actually,
there's a chance Urban Meyer isn't coming here, but like, let's stop throwing all, because right now we're wasting time throwing all these hypotheticals about like what the Jaguar, like what are the options at one. There's only one option. There's only one right answer. That's that's Trevor Lawrence. I mean, that's going to be the pick whether you like it or not. I mean, if you don't like it, I mean, you have to get ready for it right now because that's going to be the pick.
If you don't like it, there's something wrong with you. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't like it, you're either on the Deshaun Watson train or I don't know. There's no other.
Drugs.
Yeah,
you do hard drugs recreationally.
But do you think Deshaun Watson's actually going to get out of Houston?
He doesn't seem like a guy that does that. You know, he seems like a guy that'll just make enough fuss where he'll like a couple cryptic tweets and things like that. But he's not the type of guy that's going to actually like pull a Ramsey or an Ngakoue, because I mean, I don't know. Houston's not a bad situation, even though they don't have any picks, or it's not a terrible situation.
It's just, dude, you don't trade. You spend your whole entire franchise searching for the franchise quarterback, and once you get one, there's no trade possible. Like there's no reason to trade that. I mean, I guess if he's literally refusing to play, if he's just sitting out, I guess you had to work something out. But God, what a bad position the Texans are in right now, man. Like, it's just not good.
I actually like their offense. Like, they got to fix their offensive line. They've needed to do that, and they've tried with draft picks. I think they screwed up with taking this small school guy. I can't remember his name, Titus Howard or whatever his name is. But yeah, I like their receivers. You know, I like. Granted, they get Brandon Cooks back, Randall Cobb back. You know, they get guys like that. Then Will Fuller. You know, I like Kenyon. Is it not Drake or the running back they got from Arizona? You know, it's not a bad offense. It's just defense was injured. Coach didn't get along with the team, and I don't know. I don't think it's a terrible situation. I know they don't have draft picks, but I don't think it's a horrible situation. I think he stays.
Yeah, I mean, I think he ultimately stays. I mean, the only way he would leave is if like a team would have to give them a quarterback. I mean, if they're drafting outside the top 3, because you know, maybe the GM has really high grades on both Fields and Wilson, you know, so if there's a situation where he's, you know, okay with going in with one of those guys, if he trades with the, you know, Jaguars, or not with the Jaguars, but the Jets, and ironically enough, the Dolphins, who literally own their draft pick. I mean, or if like a team kind of gives up their quarterback and with a trade, but like there's just no team should be like it would be willing to give up the amount of draft capital it would take to really bring in Deshaun Watson. It's not trading the disgruntled defensive back like Jamal Adams or Jalen Ramsey. It's Deshaun Watson. It's the best quarterback, best player they've ever had in their franchise's history. Like, you don't give that up.
Yeah, I mean, if it's a situation where Deshaun Watson like wants out, then I think you can just try to get what you can get for that situation. And then you got teams like San Francisco, Carolina, that makes sense. But yeah, you're right. I mean, they're not going to do it willingly, but you never know. Sometimes, I mean, doesn't he have the same agent as Jalen Ramsey? So, I mean, maybe he's getting advice that is just not great. So hopefully it's not the case, but
I mean, he has a really good agent. That guy gets mega deals. I mean, if you see his track record, like he brings in like
tells players to fake back injuries so they don't play.
Yeah.
So
it worked. I
Yeah,
mean, as unethical as his practices are, I mean,
yeah, exactly.
it worked. I mean, he faked a back injury, got him a paycheck, and eventually got him out of there. And you know what I mean? He outsmarted the system over there.
Yeah, for sure.
But I don't know. It was weird the way it came out, because it was like apparently Deshaun Watson might be asking for a trade. We don't know yet, but he might. It's like, where does that even come from?
He liked the tweet, or he tweeted, they didn't even consult me on the GM hire. That was his tweet. And so people were like, oh, he wants out. The Jags should trade. It's like, shut up.
They were just weird because the Texans were like, it'd be like every team has requested an interview with Saleh except for the Texans. Every team has requested an interview with Eric Bieniemy except for the Texans. And it was like, they just weren't. It's like, what are they going for, man? And then finally it came out today that they have requested an interview with Eric Bieniemy, and fireworks were going off. They were like, hell yeah, we finally did something Deshaun Watson wanted.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, good luck to them. Glad I'm not in their position. Glad I'm in our position.
Yeah. But we got 205 people in here, man. Thanks everyone for being in here. If you haven't already, man, drop a like on the stream. We have Jason from Jaguars United in here. Does a great job over there doing live streams. Usually what's the Monday night streams?
Yeah, it's pretty random nowadays. I know it's not great for business, but it's pretty random. So
yeah. But I mean, if you go over there, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, you'll know when he goes live. Yeah. And then
that's the time to jump in. Dude,
yeah, that's the time to jump in.
That's the time to jump in. Yeah, for sure.
It's a lot of fun, man. There's not many Jaguar live streams out there.
Yeah, that's true.
I think we're the only two. Yeah. So
hey, I'm just glad that I could be on here with you. Again, man, congratulations. I mean, hitting 10K subscribers on a Jaguars YouTube channel, probably the first time ever. So congratulations. You're making history.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah, history in the making right now.
That's right.
I did not ever expect to get to this point, but it's humbling. I definitely appreciate everybody for all the support, man. It's been a long ride, that's for sure. And hopefully, my very first video ever on the channel was about the Doug Brown hiring. It'd be really cool if my first ever video at 10K subscribers was about the Urban Meyer hiring. I think it'd be really cool.
Oh God, that'd be great. Yeah,
that'd be great. But we're gonna end this shortly, though. Thanks everyone for being in here, guys. I'm giving away this weekend. I'm giving away 3 UCF Jaguar shirts. I'll make an announcement in a later video about it, but in order to do it, you have to join the Flick Chat app. I have the link to that posted or pinned up in the chat section. It's also in the description down below. You guys can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at UCF_Jaguar. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel, man. It's gonna be a lot of fun this offseason, man. Head coach, GM, lots of money to spend. Lots of draft picks, and most importantly, Trevor Lawrence, man.
That's right.
But hey, Jason, thanks so much for coming in here, man. Any last words before we head out?
No, man, appreciate it. Congratulations. Love you guys. Can't wait for next year.
All right, guys. Thanks everyone for coming in here. Look forward to seeing you guys next stream, and we are out.